Dune is a 2021 epic science fiction film written and directed by Denis Villeneuve and stars Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya. Let's take a look. Hi guys, thanks for coming to Cinema Bear. My name is Leto Atreides. Before we begin, if you're new to the channel, please do me a massive favor and hit that subscribe button. I'd super appreciate it. So, Dune 2021. In Dune 2021, we find Paul Atreides and his family being put in charge of planet Arrakis, which produces basically the pumpkin spice that all the Starbucks around the world need to satisfy people during the holiday season. All jokes aside, here we find the Atreides, led here by Leto Atreides, played by Oscar Isaac, put in charge of this huge responsibility for the universe. And the Atreides are very much an honorable family, and they take it upon themselves to lead with compassion and fairness, unlike their rivals, the Harkonnens, who are pretty brutal. And in terms of story, that's as deep as I want to go into it, because if not, we'll be here for an hour and a half. The biggest part about this movie that I enjoyed was its sense of scale. This movie is epic, and I had the pleasure of seeing it in IMAX, real IMAX, several times when it was first released back in 2021, and saw it again in IMAX with a good friend in celebration of the upcoming Dune Part 2. This is one of those films that has to be seen in a theater. It's just gorgeous to look at. The sense of scale is tremendous. The cinematography just screams Lawrence of Arabia, where you'd see this vast desert, and deep into the horizon there would be something there, you can't really make it out, and before you know it, it's a spaceship, or in this case it's a worm, or 1,001 other things. And the movie just feels grand, and the sets feel grand, and they feel lived in. One of my disappointments of the David Lynch Dune is that the world was not really established very clearly. It was more like the world is there and go. Here, it's very much the opposite. It's very much like we're shown what things are and how they function, almost as in this is your introduction to the Dune universe, and from this movie forward, saying this franchise continues, you're not going to be lost. You're not going to wonder, hey, what the heck is this? What the heck is that? Similar to how the first Star Wars film established things like the blasters or the lightsabers or the Force in general. This movie very clearly defines its universe and what all the objects mean. So in terms of just bringing you to another world, this movie does a phenomenal job. Another great plus this movie has going for it is the quality of its cast. There are no weak performances. There are no weak actors. Even someone that would on paper be a miscast, like Jason Momoa as Duncan Idaho, works in the context of this film, the context of this universe. And in terms of stand-up performances, it's hard to really pick one out. I would say Oscar Isaac as Leto Atreides pleasantly surprised me, but it's Oscar Isaac. The man is awesome. And I really appreciated what Timothée was doing with his portrayal of Paul Atreides, where you felt that this was someone trying to figure things out and didn't know what to do every step of the way. And he gradually gets to this point of leadership that is explained further down the line. And Rebecca Ferguson, I could talk about the entire cast. These guys did a phenomenal job. I cannot really nitpick a single performance here. Everyone is so freaking good. So yeah, if you want strong acting, you want to see with a group of actors, character actors, get on camera and add something to a film just through performance and just by being there. Sometimes even like a Josh Brolin in the background as Gurney, just standing there being badass, add something to the scene. And it's colored all over this film. A phenomenal amount of work from everyone in the cast. In terms of the directing style, Denis Villeneuve knows how to direct a movie. He knows how to use the camera to give you a sense of scale, as mentioned earlier. He also knows how to do dialogue and exposition. It doesn't really feel like dialogue and exposition. It feels like natural conversation. And if there's one fault that I can find with the movie in terms of the directing, maybe the pace of it could be a touch too slow, but then that's a complete 180 to the ridiculously fast pace that we had with Dune 84. I did notice that a lot of the scenes from the original film, original adaptation, are mirrored here, and it's almost as if that movie was a first draft. And here we have the polished, more complete version of what that movie could have been. Irony of ironies, I think David Lynch wanted to make his version of Dune 2 films and he got shut down. They had to squeeze everything into 1 movie. In this case, I think this story, benefits from being 2 movies. 1 is to establish, and I think the second one is more to pay off what's been established. So yeah, and I think if you, I mean, there is no Picard's battle pug in this one. Kind of missed it, to be perfectly honest with you. But yeah, I thought that in terms of what could be done with this story, he can tell this story in a cohesive manner that can not lose anyone. And realistically, Denis nearly checks every single box on this one. In the end, Dune 2021 is definitely an excellent movie with so many threads, plot lines, things to establish in one film. This is almost like a masterclass to how to adapt the book properly for the cinema. I know a lot of people that saw this when it first came out on HBO Max and don't really feel as warm towards it as I do. I've only seen this movie in the theater. I saw it in IMAX, saw it in 3D, and then I just recently saw it again in IMAX with a re-release in celebration of the second film. And you have to see this in the theater if you can. I would love it if this movie kind of had like a traveling roadshow thing where every few months, you know, it would be re-released in the theaters. We can actually watch it in its proper setting, because this movie, I'm almost timid to see it in a regular TV because I feel like it would lose a lot in terms of its scale and its epicness. Go see it in the theater, enjoy it. I went to see it in the theater recently with a few friends, and one of them who didn't even want to go, and 35 minutes into it, he was just like engaged because the visual is just so strong. This is one of the best looking movies I've ever seen. And that's my honest take on Dune 2021. Definitely it's an excellent movie, a much better adaptation than the 1984 film. Please tune in next time where I'll be taking a look at Dune. Written and directed by Denis Villeneuve and starring Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section, hey, did you like Dune 84, Dune 2021? Now, could you imagine Dune 84 actually having been 2 movies now that, you know, this Dune adaptation has been in 2 films? I think it, you know, different timeline, different circumstances. Who's to say that Kyle MacLachlan would have been playing Paul Atreides for another 3 or 4 movies? Never know. Thanks again for watching. My name's Eric Ortiz. This has been Cinema Bear, and I'll see you for the next one. Take care.